There's never ever been such a gap between the film-going audience and the critics and the Hollywood executives that determine these award ceremonies. Hey there peeps, what is up? It is Lucas here from Rebellious Noise Screen 1, and I'm here to give you all my immediate reactions and thoughts to last night's 93rd Academy Awards ceremony. The ceremony took place last night in Los Angeles, but obviously looked very, very different from previous years due to the current pandemic going on in the world. However, unlike the BAFTAs and the Golden Globes, this year's Academy Award decided to have in-person nominees and in-person presenters and hosts, and so it did feel a bit more similar to previous years. However, the ceremony was not without controversy, and we shall get to that very, very soon. But first, how did I get on in my prediction? So last night on the pre-show kind of party with Scott, I predicted for 10 categories, 5 of them correct. And I'm not too surprised by that, because the Academy, it has a certain way of swaying, and some of the predictions I did put in were more my hopes than what I thought would happen. But I am very shocked still by some of the stuff that happened. So, firstly, the big nominator of the night was obviously Mank. It had 10 nominations, however, would only walk away with 2 wins, and that was for cinematography and production design. Now this makes sense, because this was a film that basically was all about bigging up old Hollywood and showcasing, you know, what was good about it. And so yes, I can see why it won for those 2 categories. And it wasn't really a performance-led film, so I never felt it was at any jeopardy really of being able to steal Best Picture or any of the acting nominations that it received. Next up, Sound of Metal did very, very well with 2 awards for film editing and for sound. This makes perfect sense, as the film is all about editing sound and distorting sound, and so it all links in really. So 2 awards for that film. Very, very happy with that. I was a tiny bit gutted that Paul Raci wasn't able to clutch the Best Supporting Actor Oscar, as I really enjoyed his role in that film. However, we did get one of the speeches of the night. Daniel Kaluuya gave a very powerful speech, and a very funny speech towards the end. Yeah, he gave a very powerful yet funny speech, you know, really saying that there's a lot more work to do in Hollywood when it comes to racial inclusion and diversity, and this is just the start, and he's back to work on Tuesday, and he's having a party. And you know, I think that's obviously fair enough. You win an Oscar, that's what you do. Elsewhere, actress in the supporting role, it did go to obviously Yuh-jung for Minari. She won and gave a speech that really brought the house down. It was really funny, really heartfelt. Other speeches that I felt were really good were when Thomas Vinterberg, he won for International Feature for the film Another Round. It's a Danish film, and he spoke obviously about the heartbreak of losing his daughter as part of the process of making the film, and he dedicated the award obviously to his daughter, which I felt was a very touching moment. Soul, the Pixar film, also won 2 awards. It picked up the award for original score, and yes, it did become the next film of many, many, many to win the Best Animated Feature Film, and rightfully so really. It was one of the best films of last year, and like I said yesterday in the predictions and the pre-show party video, I did feel it was robbed of a nomination for Best Picture, and we'll get to that very, very soon. Elsewhere in my predictions, I did predict correctly that Nomadland would steal both the Directing Oscar and the Best Picture Oscar. However, I did not guess that it would get a 3rd and therefore have the most wins of the night, with Frances McDormand joining the club of 1 that is, along with Daniel Day-Lewis as the only other person basically to win 3 leading actor nominations, as for Nomadland she won, and this obviously follows 3 Billboards in Missouri and Fargo that she has won Academy Awards for. And also with Nomadland picking up Best Picture, that gives her a total of 4 competitive Academy Awards, and she's the first woman to ever win for both acting and producing in the same year, so that's quite a feat. And Chloe Zhao obviously joining just Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker for her win for directing. Now this was all kind of, you know, bog standard. Screenplay, I got completely wrong. They went completely differently. They decided to honour Promising Young Woman, which is well deserved for original screenplay, and they gave The Father the adapted screenplay, and I felt, yeah, I was certain that was a One Night in Miami thing, but it felt a bit like it has lost steam, you know, since January and the Golden Globes, and you know, that was kind of a shame. A predictable one here where Tenet did win visual effects. That made sense and I was happy. And it was one of the film... I mean, the films... What you notice here, the trend was that films that actually people had heard of, people were happy of. They're happy. Okay, Tenet wins. Okay, good. We at least got a chance to watch that fairly in the cinema. You know, other awards, there weren't that much positivity behind. But now, we get to the main gripe of the ceremony. So the ceremony's main gripe is in the production, and I must say, the producing decisions that were made towards the end. So for the first time in over 50 years, the decision was made that the Best Picture category, which usually goes on last, will be going on third from last. This therefore led people to believe that Best Actor in a leading role would be going on last, and that the winner would be Chadwick Boseman. However, the events that unfolded were very, very peculiar, and I still, even a few hours later after watching it, cannot fathom or get behind this decision to do this. And now, this is not going to take anything away from Sir Anthony Hopkins, who did win that category, a film I haven't had the chance to see yet, but I'm looking forward to see. And he's obviously a tremendous actor, as we know, for many, many years. He's basically a national institution here over in the United Kingdom. However, this decision to do this just really showed the complete discontent and the complete abandonment between the film critics and the Hollywood executives and the film fans. Chadwick Boseman's performance in that film was masterful, and it should have been awarded the Oscar here, and they missed a chance to do that. And I just, you know, it just ended the whole ceremony on such a dud note, because obviously Joaquin Phoenix, who was presenting the award, and he was obviously last year's winner of the category, you know, he's obviously very awkward as it is anyway, and it didn't make for very comfortable viewing. And I have to say that if that was the case, just should have stuck with Best Picture on last. There was no need to do this, and it is solely down to the producing of the segment, and not down. I'm not blaming Anthony Hopkins. I think he's a fantastic actor. He obviously wasn't there to accept the award as well, which made it even worse, because the show basically ended with no one accepting an award. And they cut to the in-house DJ Questlove, who I must admit, he was playing some tunes all night. You know, that much was good. Some weird decisions sometimes, like playing 9 to 5 after Chloe Zhao won. I thought that was a bit of a weird decision. But yeah, you know, they cut to Questlove to wrap the show up, and that was it. We was out of there. So, in my opinion, my final thoughts are, this ceremony just didn't work. It was a production nightmare. The films no one had seen. The other gripe as well, by the way, is that in a lot of these categories, they chose to just have someone basically give like Tinder dating profiles for some of the nominees. You know, like I get that you want to talk them up, but show us their work. The whole point of a film is to see things. I don't want to be just hearing people read stuff to me all the time. You know, like for instance, you know, I think they missed a trick here with, say, best costume. Bring out the costume, show us them. You know, or at least show pictures of them so we can see, you know, why they're so good. You know, I thought that was a real missed trick here. And I feel very, very bad for the winners of the live action short and documentaries short films, because their films didn't even get shown clips of. So I literally have no idea what their films are about. If anyone wants to let us know, then please do. But it seems we're never going to see these films because the Academy decided that it was more important to play games halfway through the show and fast forward through the in memoriam segment. It was such a production nightmare, and it just begs the question again: do we need these award ceremonies? The answer I'm leaning toward is possibly no, because this year's was so damp, it was so soulless, having a couple of hundred people in a train station cheering on decisions that they've most likely made themselves. There's never ever been such a gap between the film-going audience and the critics and the Hollywood executives that determine these award ceremonies. And it's just phenomenal that so many of these award-winning films are most likely never ever going to see the light of day or get seen by anyone outside of this small, tiny Hollywood circle. But hey ho, that's the Oscars for you, and it's in the bag for another year, and we begin a new year of film with the cinemas reopening very, very soon. And don't you worry, I'll be here to film you in on what's coming up next. Till then, take care, film fans.